Okay. I am going to try and share my screen. We have lots of attendees joining. How exciting. Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining. We're going to wait maybe just a couple more minutes and then we'll dive in and get going. In the meantime, Shari, can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Beautiful. So far, so good. I'm going to change your name to Shari.
I was just going to do that.
Okay, and lots of attendees rolling in. Thank you so much for joining. You're in for a treat today. Shari and I are going to wait. I'm going to say maybe till 12:02-ish, and then we'll get going.
The awkward pause while we sit here and wait.
I know. I don't want to overkill it with the welcomes and hold ons, but welcome. We are here. We're just giving it maybe a minute more and then we will get going. All right, it's 12:02. I say you ready?
Yes, let's get the show on the road.
Okay. Thank you everyone for joining. We have so much great stuff to show you today. So I'm Katie Smith. I am a home ownership counselor out of Cresswell, and I'm so excited to have my co-host Shari back. Shari, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Shari, homeownership counselor out of Caldwell, Idaho.
It's so nice to have like the multi-state, what's happening in Idaho versus what's happening in Oregon. I like to have all the perspectives here. So I'm really glad that you are co-hosting.
Oh, thank you. Glad to be here.
I will say, okay, so the house we're going to show today is my neighbor's house. So I've been watching it since the day it started. And they actually let me go in and tour about 3 months ago. And I have been just dying to show you this house since 3 months ago. So you're in for a treat. This is a beautiful house. My plan is to go over the standard Cashmere plan. So the house we're going to see today is Adair's 3120 Cashmere. And then we'll look at the video, talk about what you're seeing, and then we'll let the video roll through as we kind of talk about financing, site prep, how it all comes together. So we'll start with the good stuff. So this is adairhomes.com. You can see all of our pre-engineered floor plans. You select your location, and it will even give you up-to-date pricing. So this is a great resource to you. We are looking at the Cashmere, and you'll see underneath this front elevation, you'll see all these pictures of different variations of the Cashmere. So the idea here is that we've kind of put together these pre-packaged looks for you with the base price associated with each one. However, you can modify on them. So as you're looking at this, if you're like, oh, I like the impressions, but I'd like to change this, or this, those are absolutely options to you. So these are kind of starting places, not what you're limited to. The house we are looking at today is the signature version. And what you should know about the signature or just the outside of our houses in general, we're going to use all James Hardie siding. So this is a fiber cement board all the way around. We're going to use a 50-year architectural shingle, and we're going to use a lifetime vinyl window. Shari, do you guys do stucco out of Idaho at all, or are you strictly James Hardie as well?
We do stucco as well out here. Yes.
Okay. So Idaho, and then our Arizona branch has stucco as an option. Here up in rainy Oregon and Washington, and we stick with the what's good here. So our recent, I want to say almost a year ago now, we added exterior and interior paint to our base package. So we're going to paint your house. We're going to use Sherwin-Williams paint. And then we're also going to include the heat pump and furnace. So your heating and cooling system is already accounted for in this base price that you're seeing online. Let's see here. scrolled the wrong way. Okay. Here is kind of the original floor plan. As it was originally drawn, you've got a side entry garage. So it's kind of one of these L-shaped houses with a little courtyard area. You've got this covered entry. You've got your dining room to the left, a coat closet, a little den here in the front, and then just this massive common space. So great room, kitchen nook, the biggest pantry standard. I love it so much. Over here on this wing of the house, we've got the primary suite. So we've got his and her closets or dual closet system, primary bath, large primary bath. And then on the opposite side, we have 2 bedrooms, a bonus room, and a really large utility. The house we're going to look at today, let me show you what they have done to it because they've made some structural modifications. I'm going to make this bigger. You won't be able to see all of it at once, but we'll zoom in a bit. So the biggest changes here, they bumped this room out. So they made this whole massive space larger and they rotated the vault. So the vault, when we get in here, you're going to see is running front to back. They
Oh,
also,
I love that.
yeah.
What a great open space.
It's so good. They added this vaulted patio off the back. So the vault line just continues straight out. They've got indoor and outdoor living here. And then other big changes, really, they converted the bonus room to a bedroom. So they just added a closet, but then they also added an access to this bathroom directly from the bedrooms, kind of like a makeshift ensuite here. Otherwise, we stayed fairly standard as far as layout, but I will tell you, you're in for a treat. They had excellent taste. They've upgraded or modified almost every design element in this house. So, Shari, anything else we should note about just the layout in general?
No, it's just a fantastic layout for pretty much any living style.
It totally is. And I'll tell you, so the whole point of most of their structural changes or reconfiguring was to add this patio cover, and you will see why instantly. It's incredible. So we are going to, before I push play on this video, I want to say, if you have questions as we go, we encourage it. We would love for you to throw in your questions, and they can be about any topic related to this project. Shari's going to be monitoring that Q&A function, and we'll just pause periodically to make sure we're caught up on them and we're answering them as they're relevant. So send your questions our way. I'm also just going to pause periodically to point out things that you're looking at because the video goes kind of fast. So we are going to make this bigger, first of all. And I'll talk about site prep afterwards. So we'll kind of talk about what we're looking at around the house when the video is done. But first you're seeing the signature elevation. So you've got this dental rail, you've got batten board in the gables, lap siding all around the base. This is that standard overhead garage door that comes with this exterior package and the standard front door that comes with it. However, there are so many options if you have a specific idea in mind for either of these. These are the post straps that come with the signature elevation, but just once again, you can change out anything here. So they've got this really clean, pretty design. We painted the outside. It looks great.
I think it's important to mention, because I get to ask this question a lot. Can you add a third bay or an RV bay, things like that, to this specific floor plan just because of the L shape? And you can 100% do all of that. Just ask your homeownership counselor and we'll be able to help.
That's a good point. Detached as well. So if the property is better suited for detached, yeah, that's a great point. Okay, so I will say one thing before I let it roll. You're probably anxious to get going because you get this kind of sneak peek here, but the fireplace was not quite finished when I did this video, and I wish I could have waited, but I didn't want to, slow down their move-in. So fireplace is the only thing that isn't finished. All right, so walking into this entry here, we have our den space. And they did their own interior painting. I think it looks wonderful. And then they also did this, what we call our architectural trim set. So they did this taller baseboards and this full wrap, really beautiful trim kit around all of their windows. And just views out every window. This property is incredible. Okay. To our other side is their formal dining room. So in this room, we've got a custom luxury vinyl plank floor. We work with Shaw flooring, and these guys actually had this custom floor they wanted us to bring in for them. So that's what you're seeing. They provided and installed their own light fixture. So this is a customer provided light fixture. It's beautiful. It's perfect for this house. And then we did, again, that same architectural trim that you're going to see throughout. And we added the tray ceiling here. I love everything about this. There's not a room that I don't just feel like they nailed. They're so good.
I
Such good
love how
design.
they kept it in a formal dining room, which you could keep it an office still, but I love how they made it a formal dining room. So gorgeous.
Okay, agreed. Okay, so here we have our enlarged great room, common space, and you can see this right here was the reason for all of the design. So I think they're going to spend a good portion of their time sitting out on this deck, just looking at the valley. So
Gorgeous.
our rotated vault line here. They also took the standard 8-foot ceilings and raised them to 9 foot. So we've got 9 foot and then a vault. Let's see here. Got that same custom luxury vinyl plank flooring. And then this is a great shot of just this layout in the great room. So they're going to wrap this whole surround. This is a gas fireplace. They're going to wrap it with a cultured stone. They've got a beautiful stained grade mantle under here under this wrapping. So I so wish I would have waited so you could see the finished product, but it is what it is. We did these built-ins for them. So on either side of the fireplace. And I think a lot of times people don't realize that's an option, but Adair partnering or sister company with Ridge Press Cabinets, built-in, sky's the limit. You can call out exactly what you want. We can accommodate or bid accordingly.
Yep, floating shelves, you name it, we can do it.
Love that. In this room, again, they provided their own light fixtures. So these pendants, they asked us to just do a rough in. So we did capped boxes in the ceiling connected to a switch. They came in and put those light fixtures in. And then here in this little nook seating area, they've added this one as well.
Well, how great they have that option to do right after they close on the house, that they can still style it their own and have the simplicity of having the house built for them.
I totally agree. We're going to talk about the kitchen excessively, but I think this is just another great shot. So this wall of windows wrapped in that architectural trim, just beautiful. We've got an atrium door in the center. Actually, I'm sorry, this is a full French door. So options here for windows and doors, really the sky's the limit. I mean, they could have done just a super long multi-slide slider. They could have done a standard door, sliding doors, atrium doors, French doors, really whatever you call out to best fit your space, we can accommodate. Are you doing a lot of these rotated vaults too? I think I read something with you. Yeah.
I am. Yeah. Same with you. Great views out here. And so we do a lot of the double sliding glass doors and the atrium doors as well, just so you have that open view to accommodate for that view.
Absolutely. Okay, this is a great shot of this kitchen. So what you're looking at here is our standard island. These are Naughty Alder cabinets. This is a Naughty Alder cabinet package. So standard being beach with multiple stains available. They wanted that kind of rustic look. They wanted the knots in the wood. So they went ahead and modified that. They've got their provided fridge over here. However, as a standard, Adair does provide appliances. And I think people a lot of times don't realize that either. So in our base price, we are counting a 30-inch Whirlpool stainless steel range, a microwave, and a dishwasher. And then we've got a couple of upgrade options. So they did what we call our gourmet kitchen. And this is a Whirlpool. We'll get a couple better shots of it, but you've actually got 2 built-in ovens, built-in microwave, built-in cooktop, and then an under cabinet hood here. Dishwasher always follows the sink. So we've got dishwasher and island over here. I love talking about cabinets. And again, so we partner with Ridge Press Cabinetry. They're an award-winning cabinet shop, and I would strongly recommend you go check out their site. Let's back up a bit. Look at this kitchen one more time because
go ahead, sorry.
They've got links to some of the projects they've done, some of their really pretty projects. You can kind of check out their work and what they're capable of. But again, sky's the limit. So we're going to give you with each pre-engineered plan kind of an idea of how we would lay the kitchen out. But all of the cabinetry is made to order. So you can go through and be like, okay, let's move this here, you know, maybe let's stretch the cabinets to the ceiling. Let's open shelves. Let's replace all lower cabinets with drawers or trash drawers. Or what are some stuff that you've been doing a lot with your cabinets? You have a popular kind of item coming through?
I think the biggest one is doing all the additional cabinets like they have over there in the corner in the dining
Mhm.
room.
Yes,
Doing additional built-ins, the under cabinet lighting. We do a lot of the cabinets in the master bath that go to the ceiling or cabinet pantries, things like that.
such a
So,
great idea for
mhm.
storage. Yeah, yep, and you're exactly right. So they added on the standard plan, we're gonna end the cabinetry package right here where this tall one is. And they just filled in that space in their little eating area. They extended these cabinets all the way to the windows.
Well, I have to say the Cashmere kitchen is one of my favorite kitchens that we do, but this kitchen probably takes the cake just
Mhm,
with all the cabinetry, the
mhm.
underlighting, and then of course the island. You cannot beat the island and the pantry in
Massive.
the Cashmere.
Mhm. Totally agree. The idea here, they have a very large family and they're always trying to get together. So they've got this giant island that they can all kind of gather, congregate around. So I think they nailed it.
Yeah.
Couple other things you're seeing here. So they wanted to provide and install their own poles on cabinets and drawers. So we left them just clean slate and they drilled and provided their own. And then we did this full height backsplash here, which turned out so good. And a solid surface quartz countertop on all of these spaces.
They really did a fantastic job on their colorings and everything they've selected so far.
They're
Love
so
it.
good. I agree. Let this play through again. As far as appliances go, if you're very particular, maybe you want a 48-inch range or you have some specific vision, we'll absolutely accommodate. We would just ask that you give us the specs for what you're planning to provide so we can make sure and cut the cabinets accordingly, provide the electrical accordingly, but
Right. And to mention, we do a lot of like inserts for wine fridges and things like that as well. That's really popular here. So don't hesitate to ask.
absolutely. Okay, so we're approaching the primary suite. To our right here, we have the half bath. I love that they painted these doors a separate color. We've got a tile floor in here, a naughty alder vanity again, quartz countertop. We work with Imser for tile, so really sky's the limit for tile selection as well. They added, I should say, they did their own lights in here, and then they also added this kind of shiplap look behind the toilet. So this was a customer provided. It looks great.
And it looks like they did their own mirrors as well.
They did. Yep. They
Yeah,
asked to delete the mirror package and they hung their own. Mhm.
very nice.
Yes. As a standard, we would of course provide mirrors, but if you have a vision like her round top there, absolutely welcome to do your own.
Which goes well walking into the room with their round top encasement.
Right? And this is paint. This was just like a brilliant paint idea here. But yes, so good. Got this little niche with a light for displaying something. I think they had something in mind here. And then I love that architectural trim package. I think it makes such a statement.
Yep, really just elevates it.
Okay, so primary bath. What you're seeing here is just a fiberglass tub insert and a tile shower. I wish that the photographer would have opened the door to show you the shower because we have a built-in bench and a soap niche and some cool stuff in there. It's a really pretty shower. Our base package has changed slightly since this house was ordered. So now we do a tile deck drop-in tub standard. If you're not tub people, absolutely you have the option to delete the tub and just utilize that space in a different way. And then additionally, if you have certain requirements for your shower, again, the sky's kind of the limit. If you want to do, we've been doing, someone introduced me to what's called a shower cave. So just a really giant shower with like a splash wall and then just a kind of a tile entrance. You can do the rainfall shower heads, the whole shower system. So if you're someone who has a specific vision for your shower, that's always kind of fun. Do you do a lot of tile showers, kind of customizing, oversized?
Yep, I pull the tub a lot and do big,
Yes.
huge showers a lot.
Yep. We've got in this plan, we've got this built-in linen closet, and I love that they changed. So our standard interior swinging doors are a 6-panel. They did this 5-panel. Just another kind of adds character, adds personality, works with what they've got going on. And then here, so as a standard in a primary bath, we're going to do 2 sinks whenever there's room. So we like to do 2 sinks in here. If we do a solid surface countertop, we're going to automatically do an undermount sink. And then of course you can also do a rectangular if you prefer that look over the round bowls here. We're using all Moen plumbing fixtures and our standard is brushed nickel. So they went ahead again. They did their own mirrors in here. Super cute framed mirrors.
And I love the fact that our master countertops or our master counters are 36 inches high. Not many builders do that in my area. So that's a big plus for us. And, you know, don't want to bend over the sink the whole night.
That's true. That is true. And then as a standard now, a little change since this house was ordered, we're going to do a light fixture over each sink rather than one centered in this bathroom. You can see we did privacy glass here. Standard would be just clear glass looking straight out. And then those 9-foot ceilings in here. Oh, I don't know how I missed this on my preview. So you've got this cute shower with that bench. And then this plan has that water closet off by itself there. Okay, coming into the bedroom itself. The first couple of doors are the closets. So we've got one big closet and one even bigger closet here. I've been doing a lot of people deleting the doors into closets in a situation like this and either doing like a track door, just leaving it open to the hallway.
Yeah, really popular right now to do the ensuite. So everything's kind of open and everything kind of flows together versus having door.
Swinging doors, absolutely. Pocket doors also being an option if you want us to do something slightly different. I like to point out in here, so what you're looking at is the standard shelf and pull that comes in this closet. We've got a couple of options. So you could choose to do maybe 2 layers of shelf and pull and just utilize this entire wall. Or you could absolutely just delete the standards in here and do your own thing. You have kind of this big blank template. Such a big closet. Across the way, we've got our second walk-in closet. Again, shelf and pulls. Its own light switch, that beautiful architectural trim carried through. And then again, a slightly upgraded shaw carpet. I don't know if you noticed that little tiny pull hatch in the floor. We like to put our crawl space access in primary closets. However, you can call out exactly where you want it if you have a better idea of where you'd like to see it. Okay, this bedroom. This is a good sized bedroom. We've got that tray ceiling and that double tray. Adds so much character. They provided and installed this light once again. And then they did the paint in here again as well. And I'll tell you, I ran into them. They're my neighbors. I ran into them and they said, okay, you know, we're painting the inside of our house. We've called in the whole family. We've got all hands on deck. So I think maybe a little bit subconsciously, I was expecting to see kind of this very rough paint job. I'm starting to think maybe their family are professional painters because everything in here did not turn out how it would have had I called my family in to paint.
Yeah. So they were obviously right before we changed to including.
Yep, right before that 06 spec. Okay, it's another amazing shot of this kitchen. And it is massive. I think it's in proportion to this giant room. It's hard to fully comprehend how big this kitchen and this kitchen island are. But lots of good storage, especially for a galley style kitchen. Just tons and tons of cabinetry.
I just have to say their taste in colors, their paint, everything is just impeccable. I'm just so impressed right now.
Okay, pantry. It is rare for a photographer thinks to get a picture of the pantry. So I was so stoked to see this. So this is standard. You're seeing four wooden shelves. This is what we include. This is just a giant pantry space. I've had people do like where they delete the shelves and they put in lower cabinetry and countertops, or like a space for a wine fridge, like you were saying, or, I mean, there's so much space in here, really. You can almost have like kind of a small butler's pantry type setup.
I was just going to ask, we do that a lot. I mean, It's so smart to not have to have everything on your counters. If you're that, I mean, that's how I am. So
Yep. A space for everything. I like it. Okay. Keep this rolling.
He even goes in. I love it.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. Okay. So we are going to head down the hallway here.
And we have no questions yet or comments. So if anyone remember, we're still here. If you have any questions,
send them our way. We love it.
We're just doing a great job.
Yeah. So thorough. Okay, so what you're seeing here is this was previously the bonus room, and it's obviously it would work as a great size bonus room. They had added just that closet, which is off to your right here, and then this door access to the bathroom, and we'll get another shot of the bathroom. Ooh, should we pause? We get a question?
What is the all-in cost for this home?
Oh gosh. Okay. I will share this. However, I have to give a couple disclaimers first. So this was ordered just about a year ago. They did significant upgrades. So let me give you an upgrade cost. They had done almost $200,000 in upgrades. So custom flooring, custom structural changes, significant upgrades here. So all in there right at about $560. And that is pricing specific to Crestwell, pricing specific to a year ago. So kind of useful, but not totally useful, if that makes sense.
I love how they added this door. I never thought of that.
Clever. And the vanity is still a good size. We had to shrink the vanity to accommodate, but it's still a great size vanity. We're going to back out and go back in from another angle. Okay, so bathroom 2 or guest bath. I do love that as a standard, the tub shower and the toilet are in their own space. You can see we still have cabinetry and drawers in this vanity. We've got their same custom mirrors that they're carrying through. We have a quartz countertop again with that undermount sink, but they did the standard backsplash in here, which is a subway tile, a couple different colors of subway tile to choose from. 6 inches high is standard. So this was already included in their base price. And then we've got just this massive linen closet across the way. So bypass door, 4-shelf linen closet. Tub shower in here is standard. You could do in here, I mean, you could choose to absolutely do another tile shower. You could do just a deep tub with tile up the walls and a shower head above. There's some options here, but this is what comes with. And then another Imser tile floor in here. Really pretty floors. And again, the painted doors. I love the painted doors. Okay. So nice wide hallway, looking straight down into the utility room. So through this door would be the garage. We've got our little storage closet here. And then the final 2 bedrooms. So still a good size room, 6-foot closet with bypass doors. We've got that full wrap trim again. Really great views out of every single window in this house. And then the 9-foot ceiling. So the room it's really a great size. And the final room here, same thing, almost mirror image. So that you've got your egress window, you've got your standard flush mount ceiling light, and then the closet with the bypass doors. Okay, I don't know if I'm the only one who gets really excited about a large utility room, but we have this. Let's just pause right here. Okay. We call this our enhanced utility room package. So we've just added wall-to-wall cabinetry. This is a laminate countertop and a standard backsplash with just a super deep kind of heavy-duty plastic utility sink, and then upper cabinets. They chose just a totally different cabinet to go in here. So this is one of our standard cabinet options. And then again, they did their own poles in here. So add a little character with their own poles. Washer and dryer space here. We're going to, of course, provide the plumb plug, the venting. You can do stackable. It doesn't change the cost. Had they opted not to do any cabinetry in here, our standard would have been a 5-foot wooden shelf. So you can do as much or as little as you want in here, but it comes kind of plug and play. It comes ready to go. They've got that same waterproof luxury vinyl plank carried throughout here. And then just, again, amazing views. And we're getting questions.
Yes, I was just going to say, are the doors your standard doors?
They are a modified door. So it's a 5-panel instead of our standard 6-panel.
And is this video going to be available online somewhere?
It will be. Yep. All of our virtuals end up on YouTube. It usually takes 2 to 3 days, and then they'll be on YouTube. You can just search Adair Homes virtual Cashmere or 3120, and it should come up for you. Good questions.
Mhm.
Okay, keep this going. In the mudroom, I'm wondering if it's the same for you. So we had this just sudden influx of pet washing stations. So where we're doing like a full raised tile surround and just pet washing setup. So you're coming straight from inside or from outside before you go inside, you're getting that animal clean. Is that something you've been seeing a lot of?
Yes, very popular right now.
It's funny how that kind of stuff trends through, but it's such a great idea. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
And then of course in this utility room, there's plenty of space. I mean, you can have it all in here. Okay.
Does
Yeah.
he get I was gonna say, did he get the back wall? Because also on that back wall on the other side of the utility room, I have a lot of buyers doing the bench cubbies, which we can do in any of our mud rooms. We can do them in the front room, you name it, we can do it.
I love that. Yeah, such a great, just a drop space. Kids are coming home from
Mhm.
school, you've got your cubbies, you drop all your stuff. In theory, keep it out of the house, but kids have a way, I feel.
Check out that porch.
Right.
Holy moly.
Okay, so this was the reason for that redesign. So we've got that whole wall of windows you were seeing from inside. We did this vaulted porch cover. We added the tongue and groove, can lights being standard in here. And then this is a standard column wrap that comes with this style. So there were other options here. So you don't have to vault or rotate the vault to have a patio cover. This is just the specific look they were going for. We've been doing a lot of kind of the crow's foot, like more of the rustic craftsman-y type look. You can absolutely do a stain grade pillar. Point being, if you have modifications you would make to better suit your style, odds are we can do it. But I absolutely love this.
How much did that rotated vault and porch cost?
Rotated vault and porch. I'm not sure. I can pull that up quickly. But if I had to estimate, so based on the size of the house, I would say plan on for a rotated vault, probably 12 to 14,000. Is that about what you see?
Yeah, it's about what I see as well.
Yeah, and then this is actually a really large porch cover. Let me see if I can find it really quick. So they did as an upgrade, they did the tongue and groove, but the porch itself, oh gosh, I don't want to spend too much time searching here. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to circle back. This is a really long order, believe it or not. And so I've got a few pages to sift through. Let's keep this going though. So there's that standard heat pump. All the windows. I love all the windows all the way around. Just beautiful. Okay, I want to let this play again so people can kind of watch it in the background. But we've got a couple other topics I like to discuss. So, and we have questions. Keep sending those our way. Yeah.
That estimate was good enough. Just wanted a rough idea, he
Oh,
says. Thanks, Jim.
Okay, that's perfect. Okay, so essentially there are three cost components that come into play when you're going to build. So you've got the cost of the property, you've got the cost of the home, and then you have what we call site prep, site development. And in that site development bucket, we throw basically everything outside of the cost of the home. So any excavation, any gravel, any driveway, trenching, maybe a well, maybe septic, bringing power in, building permits. So really we try to limit it so you can see your three numbers. So if I build on the specific property, here are my three costs for a grand total of, and that way you kind of have a baseline so you can shuffle and reconfigure as needed to stay in that comfort zone of a budget. As far as site prep goes, we're going to come out and see the property with you, and then we're going to give you a report. So we're going to say, based on what we're seeing, here's the site prep required. And then you have two options. You can do what's called turnkey, which is where you say, okay, I'd like Adair to bid my site prep. I'd like to be fairly hands-off. Or you can do what's called owner equity, which is where you say, hey, I know an excavator. I feel comfortable kind of building this budget, finding my own guys and working through this. Either route you go, I like to say, your construction loan, which we'll get into, is intended to pay for it. So really, it's just a matter of how involved you want to be in your project. So there's lots of equity options or sweat equity options as far as the site prep is concerned. But then there's also that path too for people who are like, you know what, I'm very busy or I'm not comfortable doing. I'd like to just kind of wash my hands of it and let Adair just take the reins. which I love. Do you do a lot of turnkey out of Caldwell? What's kind of would you say you have a ratio?
Yeah, I would say in our mountain area, because it's a lot of second homes, we do a lot of turnkey. But here in the valley, a lot of my buyers have owned their land for so long that they do it themselves.
They just take it themselves and run with it.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, we help. We still help with bids and everything else like you do. So
Yep, I love that about the owner equity path too, is if you're like, hey, I've got a few questions, but I'm comfortable kind of running with this. You're still going to have an assigned person who is like holding your hand throughout this. Okay, like you hit a roadblock, let's do this. So you're not totally out in the wind on your own trying to sort this out, but you can be as involved as you want at that point, which is a nice option.
for sure.
Okay, so regarding sweat equity, your options for sweat equity are really just during site prep. Once we take over, we're going to finish this house. So we are going to do all of the painting, all of the cleanup, all of the dry out. So we'd love for you to be at the house throughout construction, kind of stop in, see what's going on, but there's nothing expected of you, which is nice. So maybe you want to head to Arizona for the winter. Great. We'll keep building your house.
Well, and what's great about that too is we launched a new program that I like to mention to my buyers is the builder signal. So once we release you to construction, the superintendents actually send you photos every week with updates. So like Katie said, if you want to be a snowbird, have a great time. We're still going to keep you very updated on your project, so you don't have to stress out and worry.
Absolutely. I love that. Okay, so land. We don't provide the land. We don't sell land. However, we have partnered with preferred realtors to help you find land. So if you come to us and you're like, oh my gosh, I just don't know where to start. We don't expect you to be an expert in looking at undeveloped lands. We've got the experts and we're going to connect you with them. So you're going to go out with this person. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry, Kimberly would like to know, she said she had to step away for a minute. What was the cost mentioned earlier of everything in the home site, or just the cost of the home? So basically, I think she wants to know maybe both numbers.
Yeah, cost of the home is about 550, 560. And then home site, meaning
Probably site development, maybe an estimated budget of
okay,
what your buyers typically do.
So I'll give you averages and then I'll talk to you a tiny bit more about this property. So averages for just an undeveloped rural piece of property out of Crestwell, and this varies branch by branch, but so all things considered, undeveloped property needs a well, needs septic, needs power brought in. I tell people to plan on about 105,000 at this point. On the flip side, say you are looking at more of a city lot, it's flat, it's not covered in trees, your utilities are right at the curb, you might be looking more at like 55, 60. And then there are so many variables. So slope, trees, lots of things can change that number, but those are good. I think at least for Crestwell, they're good numbers to kind of keep in your mind as you're shopping, trying to make sure you're staying in budget. What are your averages? What are you giving out?
We're averaging between 50 and 75,000, just depending on the piece of property.
Okay. So this specific property had its own kind of jump of hurdles. It wasn't zoned for building, so they had what we call a conditional use permit, and there were lots of requirements or conditions that came with that. So this was not your standard site development project. But again, you kind of have a resource here at Adair that can kind of hold your hand and walk you through that and how it's going to look, which is nice. Regarding the land, so say you call up your office and you're like, hey, I'm ready to look for property. Send me your realtor referrals. I think at this point, every branch has a realtor that they've just latched onto, who we've just found to be an excellent resource for land specifically, bare ground purchases, bare ground offers, and who just can, give you the peace of mind that they know what they're looking at and they're not leading you astray.
Agreed.
So we're going to send you that realtor. Say you find the property, but you still want to do your due diligence and make sure it's going to work for you. So we want to come see that property with you. We're going to research the property. We're going to get boots on the ground. And then if you want, we're even going to write you a bid for site prep. So you can find out everything. You can find out whether or not this is going to work for what you want to do before you've closed on the property. So a little grace period, a little peace of mind, a little comfort. Anything to add to that? You used to be a realtor, right? You're very familiar with the realtor world.
I did. I personally, I think it's very important to find a real estate agent that is land specific, because they really do know how to work on the due diligence side of things, whether it's zone property, like you were saying, and how to work with the county on those certain issues. So I think it's really important to make sure you seek out the right agent. So if you don't have one, talk to your HOC because they have the resources.
Totally agree. Totally agree. So last but not least, financing. We have in-house financing. We have Adair Financial. The things that you should know about a construction loan are it is intended to pay for the property, pay for the site prep, and pay for the house. If you own the property, kudos to you. Standard down payment is 5%. Is it 5 or 10? 5.
5.
Yeah, 5%. If you own that land and you have equity in it, lots of times there's 0 down option. So equity in your land can be used in lieu of a cash down payment, which is really incredible. You can absolutely call us. There's no prerequisites, I think is important to note. So you don't have to have the land or even have your eye on land. You don't have to necessarily have talked to a lender yet. If you're just like, hey, I want to know more, I need your guidance, I need to know where to start, absolutely call your local branch. That's where we shine. We're going to kind of roadmap you through this and help determine if it's a good fit for you and how to go about making it happen. What do you have to add there, Shari? What's important for people just starting this venture?
Just ask the questions. I mean, call. Are there any differences for all cash buyers?
No differences aside from how we request draws. So really that's it, right? There's not a.
I think the only difference I think you can tend to go a little bit faster, especially depending on the development of your land, just because you're not waiting for the bank to pay out those draws and things like that. So that's one of the bigger differences.
That's very good.
Is the driveway included in the base price?
It is not. So the base price you see online is just the house. Anything outside of the house would be in addition to.
Which is also another good point for the sweat equity though, because by being able to utilize the sweat equity portion of it, you're able to get different bids from different contractors and actually save yourself a little bit of money in the long run, depending on who you choose. But also, it depends on the property. Some buyers don't need concrete. Some buyers want asphalt. Some buyers just need a dirt road. So that's why we leave it up to the buyer to make those choices on their own.
Mm-hmm. But like those numbers that Shari and I gave out earlier, any build branch should be able to give you that. So if you're just tentatively like, hey, I'm looking at this house, I want a rough idea of what to expect for site prep, I'm looking at a city property, you can call a branch and get an idea to make sure you're on the right track.
100%. I mean, we've done it enough that we have numbers in for all of our areas that we can tell you, hey, most of my buyers in this particular area spend this much money. And so it actually helps. We are very budget conscious for you as well. So.
Absolutely.
What is the square foot of the patio on this one?
Oh gosh, I need to just find that. I need to find
big,
that.
Lee. It's big.
It's big. So in this case, they did do their own decking out on that patio. We just did the structure. I've got to be close. Let the video keep playing. Oh my gosh. I did look at it before we went live, so I feel like that counts for something. But now, there it is. Okay. I can tell you while I look, the standard patio on most of our plans, there's always a standard option for a patio, or generally a standard option for a patio is 14 wide by 12 deep. So when you're looking at those plans and you see the optional patio, that's usually what they're talking about. But patio covers can always be made to order. So you can call out exactly what you want. So we can
do wraparound porches. We can do,
love a wraparound porch.
Oh yes.
33
and some of our plans have the option to do that wraparound porch. So.
That patio, 33-foot wide by 12-foot deep is what you're looking at. And then, okay, so one final topic. I'm going to say that, but no guarantees. I think one final topic. So when you get on our site and you see our pre-engineered plans, maybe you select a plan and it's perfect for you and you just want to move forward with that plan. Or maybe you see a plan and you want to make some modifications to it, but it's overall pretty much what you want. So those are two paths you can absolutely choose from. The third path being what we call highly modified, or I guess the second path would be highly modified, where you're taking that plan and you're just totally reconfiguring it, but it's still kind of the plan you started with. And then we also do full custom. So you could just come to us and say, all right, here's a plan we dreamed up. Can you give us a base quote for it? And we can absolutely help. We have a new option, which I'm really excited about. So they recently gave us access to the vault of previous custom plans, or all the custom plans that Adair has built over the years. So now you could come to us and say, okay, I'm not finding what I want. I know I want a 2,500 square foot ranch style home with this many baths, this many bedrooms. And we'll say, okay, let us dive into the vault and see if we've got something that kind of fits those guidelines. So kind of just giving us every possible way to make sure we're finding the floor plan that works best for you and for your budget, which is nice. Any final thoughts, Shari? Anything we didn't talk about enough?
No, I think you did a great job.
Covered it? Excessive talking?
I'm
Okay.
glad I was just the co-host. I would have talked way more.
Oh, really? You're welcome to. Okay. All right. Well, we will wrap this up. And like I said earlier, it will absolutely be on YouTube. So you can find it and check it out and be able to hit the pause button on your own time. So thank you so much for joining. Shari, thank you so much for co-hosting.
Thank you for having me.
At any time. And we'll see you all at the next one.